Happy lunch hour, guys. All right. A little bit of disturbing news coming out over the weekend. I guess this probably came out on Friday, business hours or whatever it would be. So, how many of you use a credit card or a debit card when you go to the store? Probably all of us. And you know, when you get your bank statement, it has a category on the right hand side, in the case of my bank statement, and it will say grocery, automotive, services, whatever. Okay. Well, Visa has now been petitioned, I guess, if you will, enough by Congress to put a new merchant code on the credit card / debit card statements for gun stores. Now, before anybody goes off and says, well, I never purchase my guns on a credit card or whatever. Do you purchase ammo? Purchase a gun safe? Do you purchase targets? Anything. It's not just the weapon itself. It's any purchase at a gun store. Okay? I don't know how this is going to handle, say, if you go to Sportsman's Warehouse or go to Cabela's or go to Rural King, and buy it there, but I can say at least for Rural King, you're paying for your transaction at the gun counter, so maybe it's going to be tacked, coded as the gun counter. So anything and everything that you purchase from a gun store will now be tracked. Now, if you think of this, Congress cannot track guns. The Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution prohibits the federal government from tracking your weapons. Okay, but there's nothing in there that prevents Congress from tracking bank records. So if the banks or Visa, remember, Visa's a separate company than the banks, tracks your gun purchase, and then the feds want to see your bank records, get a warrant to see your bank records for whatever suspicion they have. You think that won't happen? Just look at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. All you got to do is find a liberal judge and they'll sign off on anything. Here's a bottle of whiskey. Poof, signed off on. Yeah, now the government has done an end around, the liberal government has done an end around run on finding out who is shopping at a gun store. Not that they couldn't find out through some through the forms that you've got to fill out when you purchase a gun or anything like that, but look at Missouri and where the Fed said we want to inspect all the all the concealed carry licenses in the state. The state attorney general told them to go pound rocks. Okay, so this is what's going on here. Now, Visa is going to be part and parcel in the conspiracy to take away your rights because of the Liz Warrens and the Jerry Nadlers of the world who, don't have a clue what's going on. Notwithstanding the fact that Karen Bass, if you all know her, okay, Democratic Congresswoman from California, had her house California, I want you to remember that part, had her house broken into over the weekend, and the thieves didn't steal cash, didn't steal jewelry. They stole the 2 guns that were in her house. Karen Bass, Democrat, California, owns guns. Isn't that surprising? Gee, Karen, were they locked in a gun safe like you so all often say? They need to be out of the reach of anybody. So did these thieves not only break into your house, but they were okay to break into a gun safe? Wow, those must have been some pretty smart criminals. What did they bring with them? Dynamite? Okay. But this is the point. Congress doesn't want you to be able to protect yourself. Though obviously, through that story right there, Karen Bass thought she could protect herself with a gun, because she's a good guy, remember? Unless you're Kathy Hochul, good guys with guns don't do anything. Well, if good guys with guns are useless, why does Karen Bass own two, or did? Okay. And why were they not secured? A lot of questions on this one. I don't know. Will that be brought up into investigation? Doubtful. Okay. Because why? She's a liberal. But so, we can't have guns. Visa is going to make sure that the government knows, that they're openly willing to tell everybody who bought anything from a gun store. But, good guys with guns don't work, right? So let's go down to Texas on Friday night. Okay. 36 hours ago. 17-year-old kid at home with his mother, his 12-year-old brother, and another 17-year-old friend over at the house on Friday night. Being a good kid, 17 years old, and on Friday night at 10-something o'clock, 10:40 at night, he's at home. Okay? Not out raising hell, not out doing whatever. 3 guys, persuasion unknown, attempt to break into the house. The 17-year-old kid pulls a shotgun out. The guys break into the house. The 17-year-old kid proceeds to aerate 2 of them. 1 got away unharmed. Chances are they're going to find him. Now, this is a suburb of Houston that this happened. Houston, like most cities, is very, very blue. So there's a grand jury that is going to be seated to determine whether charges need to be brought against this 17-year-old kid. Let's see. Mom, my 12-year-old brother, me, and a friend, and 3 guys decide to break into my house. What should we have done? Asked them what their pronouns were? This kid did what was absolutely right. He blew them away. Sorry, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You want to break into houses? Expect to be shot, especially in Texas. Okay, this is the point. Now, the question's going to come. How did a 17-year-old kid have a gun? He's not old enough to buy one. Mom was home. Okay. Don't know if there's a dad in the picture. Okay. Don't even know if the kid was white, black, Hispanic, whatever would be. Okay. That's not been released yet. But obviously the 17-year-old kid knew how to use a weapon, and the weapon was in the house. What was he supposed to do? Oh, I'm not old enough. Let's have him break into the house. Bullshit. Okay. Sure, maybe the kid can't buy one. Chances are the kid's 17 years old, probably doesn't have a credit card either. Okay. But he knows how to use a weapon. That's the point. We're seeing more and more and more and more of this every day, where houses are getting broken into. Good guys with guns are stopping the bad guys with guns. Okay. And now we have Congress trying to skirt the law again, convincing a private entity, Visa, to report to them who owns the guns. Guys, if you're going to go to a gun store, take cash or go get a prepaid credit card or whatever it would be. There is no reason in the world we need to be volunteering information. I talked about this, I think it was in a live stream yesterday, about how strange it is how much we volunteer information on us to governments, to companies, without ever even giving it a second thought. I mean, I think I told you, a year ago or so, the story of us going into, I think it was Bath and Body Works. I think that was the store. We were shopping for Christmas presents. And I picked up something for my daughter. And the cashier says, okay, here's my card and everything like that. What's your phone number? I'm not going to give that to you. What's your email address? I'm not going to give that to you. And he looked at me like I was insane. I'm like, no, you have no need to know any of that information at all. Anytime somebody is asking for your personal information, or you give out anything, including a credit card number, think about how that can be used. Okay? Your phone number. Was it Lorna was saying on the live stream last night how she got a text from the Beto O'Rourke campaign? That was humorous. Saying how great Beto was and they need to vote for him. Okay? Anybody that thinks Beto's great is, I mean, even if a Democrat thinks Beto's a good candidate, they're an idiot. Okay? Not that Democrats aren't idiots anyway. But don't volunteer your information. They're telling you with this that basically, oh, we're doing it so it's on your credit card so you know where you shop. No, you're not. You're doing this specifically so you can give it to the Fed so they can put a registry together for guns. Don't fall for this shit. But this is actually going on. This was implemented on Friday. Pinball out.